Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today I will be showing y'all how to make some whipped candy cane body butter. This can be a great Christmas present for someone, or it can also just be a great activity that you do with your family on Christmas Eve. Yep, so let's get right into this video. Gotta make sure y'all aren't ashy out here in these streets and the skin is glossy and giving. Okay, let's do it. So right here I'm just showing you guys everything that I will be using in today's video: oils, pots, pans, measuring cups, and of course shea butter. Yep. So right now I'm just preparing to start boiling some water because I will be using the heat method. And first you will need to put water in your bowl. You will notice that I did end up putting too much water, but eventually I did pour some of it out. You don't need that much water because you don't want it to boil over. You just need enough to boil so that the heat, I guess, can just transfer to the bowl. And now I am about to prepare to cut up some of my shea butter so that I can put it in the bowl. As you can see, I used approximately a cup of shea butter. Be mindful that you don't have to use these exact measurements that I'm using. You can add your own twist and take what you like from this video and apply it to when you make your own body butter. This is just how I made mine. So now I'm about to measure out some coconut oil. I used an even amount of coconut oil and shea butter, which I probably shouldn't have done. I probably should have used less coconut oil since I would have been adding more oils later on. But it's fine. It turned out fine. And if you're wondering, if you're going to be using coconut oil when you make your body butter, make sure that you put coconut oil. You put the solids on the stove. So coconut oil is a solid. Well, right now it is. So when I heat up and melt my shea butter on the stove, or whatever butter you will be using, make sure that if you're going to use coconut oil and it is solid, that you put it on the stove with the rest of the solids, even though it is an oil. See, that was just too much coconut oil, but it's okay. It's okay. So now I'm just gonna let that sit on the stove until it starts to melt. Well, until it is melted. So if you were using cocoa butter or mango butter or whatever type of butter that you're using, all of that stuff would be right there on that stove, as long as along with coconut oil if you were using coconut oil. So as you can see, this is what it looks like when it's starting to melt. It's almost ready. Okay, and that is what it will look like, of course, when it's all melted. When you take it off the stove, you want to make sure that you let it sit on the counter for a little bit and let it cool down, because you don't want to put a glass bowl straight into the refrigerator because it could crack. So be mindful when you do that. I let mine sit out until it just felt like a little warm. And now I'm getting ready to put it in the refrigerator. It was in the refrigerator for approximately like 40 minutes, but make sure you keep an eye on it, because I don't know how cold y'all refrigerators are, and so just make sure you keep eyeing it. And okay, I left mine in there honestly for a little too long, but it will do. You want it to just have like a white film over the top like mine had. But still oily on the bottom. Well, still liquid on the bottom, if that makes sense. But it will still work even if it looks like that. So now I'm just getting ready to whip it. I whip it first and then I add the oils. Don't be like me and make sure you put the things in first before you try to whisk or whip it. See, look at how fluffy and pretty. So now we're just gonna whip it. It's looking really good right now. And then, okay, yeah, it's whipped. So now I'm gonna start adding some oils. I'm about to add sweet almond oil. I didn't really measure out how much I used, just because like I realized how much coconut oil I used, so I just really didn't use too much. But the more oils you use, the more lotiony, or like it won't be as thick. So be mindful, if you don't want yours to be so like slippery and thin, then don't use as much oils. So now I'm just gonna whip that in there. And then I'm going to add my essential oils. You can use 15 to 30 drops, but I used 25 drops because I'm going for the candy cane Christmassy feel. I also got all of these oils from a local store called Vitamin Shop. So if you did want to go in store, you could try Vitamin Shop. So now I'm just going to whip. And now I'm going to add some of my vanilla. The vanilla wasn't really that strong in it, but I mean, vanilla and peppermint, that just is giving Christmas, like getting to the spirit. But you couldn't really smell it that well, so. I used a third of a cup. And then this is where I kind of messed up. But like I said, it's okay. Just whip, just whip. So as you can see, it's like really lotiony, really thin. And I ended up switching bowls because that bowl was too little. But if you run into that problem, just keep whipping, because it will start to thicken up the more you whip it. And also be mindful to not use as much oil as I do. Unless you like the lotiony consistency, then go right ahead. It is most definitely a preference thing. I don't mind mine being lotiony and oily. So as you can see, the more that I whipped it, the thicker it got. And right now I'm just putting the body butter into some cute little mason jars that I found at Burlington for $3.99. So y'all go ahead and go over there and get you some mason jars from Burlington. And it just adds a cute little touch, especially if you're giving it to someone as a gift. And yeah, that's really it for the body butter. It's very simple and easy. Keep in mind, I'm not a professional, so I just try my best to explain to y'all, and I hope that it's helpful. So guys, this is the finished product. Thank you so much for watching, and comment down below if you have any questions.